What is going on? I am Johnny Von Duke and you're watching Disney Channel. What the fuck? Yeah, take number 876. What is going on, everybody? Johnny Von Duke here. And a little bit ago we did a video where we were comparing various game streaming sites. We had Amazon Luna, we had the corpse of Google Stadia, we had PlayStation, Xbox, Nvidia. I believe we mentioned a few other sites and streaming areas there. But that video was all about just, a generic comparing and contrasting. We were going over the major players. But in that video, I basically established that the best two players out of all 7, I believe we did around 6 or 7 of them. Might have only been 5. Oh, I should really rewatch the video. We basically established Nvidia and Xbox were the two big boys out of the whole group. So now that we established who the big boys were, which of the big boys are the best? And is it better to go with one or both? Obviously the answer is both, but hey, let's entertain this shits and giggles idea a little bit here. And we'll start off with Nvidia GeForce. Now, Nvidia, as everybody knows, is a graphics card company or a generic computer company. Mostly graphics card company. I don't think I need to go over their excessive hardware history. Odds are, if you know the name Nvidia, you know of their hardware history, and you probably have a part or two of theirs in your computer already. But then they made the Nvidia GeForce Now app and site, which is just a glorious way of streaming games from libraries you already own, and free games from those various libraries. Links up to Steam, Ubisoft, and Epic, which is beautiful. The fact that you can play your Ubisoft, Epic, and Steam games all in one area, which are basically the big 3 minus EA Play. EA Play is another big player in that. But you don't have EA Play on Nvidia GeForce Now yet, unfortunately, which is shameful. EA should really look on to getting their games on there. But, well, EA games are on there if you have it linked up through your Steam or Epic libraries. It's just that through your EA Play, you're not getting any benefits through Nvidia GeForce Now. Just to clarify, you do have EA games, just not your EA whatever games. I'm sorry. Which is unfortunate because Ubisoft is there. Oh boy, Ubisoft is there, but EA isn't. Admire that for a hot second. But yeah, so it's mainly streaming based. Obviously, this is based off the streaming aspect of both things, but we're going to be going over what all apps have, what they bring to the table and don't. And with Nvidia, it's just streaming, and now you've got 3 big boys on there that you can play straight from your libraries. And from those 3, Nvidia has a bunch of free-to-play games already selected out for you, so you don't need to go cherry picking through those individual game libraries of yours. No, it already has a section of free-to-play games for you. So if you're not heavily invested in either of those 3 ecosystems already, Nvidia is supplying you, and you don't even gotta pay. First off, you can be a free user. Mind you, you're limited to 60-minute sessions. I am a priority user. I pay to play on there. And I get 6-hour times out of my stuff. Mind you, I'm never playing any games for 6 hours in a row. And when I am, it's not really a PC game at that point. When I'm playing games for long term, it's usually a console game, so it doesn't really matter. I can be a priority user and not need to get a full 8 hours out of it. I'm happy with my 6 at 1080p 60 frames per second. Honestly, I would say it's a little bit better than 1080p 60 frames per second. It's a little bit more consistent than that. And if they aren't telling you the full truth, then hey, Nvidia, I'm happy for you. Keep supplying us with the good quality shit on the streaming. Now, here is the big detriment to Nvidia when comparing it to the Xbox app as a whole. The streaming part is the big thing here, but if we're comparing both as a whole, the Xbox app, the Game Pass app, has a whole list of games, that are native. So that's the unfortunate part about Nvidia GeForce Now. You're not getting any native games out of that ecosystem. But then again, keep in mind, you're pulling all these games from your already existing game libraries. So if you're doing this, odds are you're not doing it like me as a solution to running bigger games on hardware that can't. That's a big benefit to streaming, by the way. You can run bigger games that your hardware normally wouldn't be able to. You're just not doing it natively. You're doing it through streaming. But yeah, keep that in mind. The Xbox app is giving you a bunch of games you can run natively. Nvidia GeForce Now isn't. But with that being said, as far as PC games go and the PC ecosystem goes, Nvidia's streaming quality is much more consistent than Xbox's. I am yet to get a scan line with Nvidia. I am yet to get frames dropped with Nvidia. And I'm not running the shit out of my CPU and GPU with Nvidia, unlike with Game Pass. But that being said, running your hardware heavy isn't really the big concern here. The big concern here is, what is the library substance like? And Nvidia GeForce Now has over 1,478 games as of recording. So I think you're going to be happy with the substance, even though you're going to have to buy a majority of those games already by yourself. And unfortunately, COD games aren't on there yet, so rip if you're a Call of Duty fan. But a lot of other games are on there, and I think you'll be satisfied. Moving on from Nvidia GeForce Now, we are going to Xbox Game Pass / the Xbox app / xCloud. Now, Xbox's streaming service, xCloud / Xbox Game Pass, is a beefy catalog. Keep in mind, it is the console catalog. But there's a little bit of a twist to that, because you see, if you're playing it on your PC, it has a bunch of PC exclusive games that you can't get on the console version of Game Pass. So there's a little give and take there. If you're on the PC, you are getting some PC exclusive titles, just not a lot. And I do stress that heavily. There are some PC exclusive titles on here, but not a lot that draws you in comparison to Nvidia. If you're getting Xbox Game Pass, it's very much because you love the Xbox ecosystem and you want to keep with that. But however, there is a lot here for people not heavily invested in the Xbox ecosystem like me, with my Series X back behind me, streaming to my computer for this footage you're seeing in the one corner over there. Yeah. I need to get a life. Anyway, it does have a beefy catalog for new entry users, so to speak. Has some PC exclusive games, so there's that. The streaming quality is pretty stable, is pretty good, but however, unlike with Nvidia, you're going to be getting scan lines every once in a while, no matter how good quality internet you have, which is unfortunate. Now, mind you, Game Pass is used by a lot more people in comparison to Nvidia. And Nvidia is running on individual rigs as comparison to Game Pass, which is running off a giant server. So there's also that. The reason why you're getting stability with Nvidia GeForce Now is because it's dedicated rigs connecting to your system, and there's so many of them available, hence why they have pay tiers. Xbox Game Pass is just a giant standalone server, with everyone cramming in on it at once, which is why you're not getting the same stability issues, but it's a lot more accessible than Nvidia is. Mind you, you can't get this for free. So that kind of sucks, unfortunately. But then again, here's the thing though. With the Xbox Game app, you're getting, while not the same stability as Nvidia, and not the same amount of PC hardware games, you're getting what few they do have. You're getting the entire console library they do have on Xbox Game Pass. And with remote play, you can also link up to your Xbox Series system from anywhere, and you can play that too. So, yeah, even though it doesn't have the PC exclusives, it has a pretty substantial, pool. And considering you can go onto your console through remote play through the app, which is a feature of it. Again, we're comparing the apps overall here, even though streaming is the main thing. You can go on the internet through the Xbox, and then ironically enough, you can play Nvidia GeForce Now through that too. Not that it would be redundant at that point, mind you, but I find that kind of funny in hindsight. Technically, through Xbox Game Pass, you can play Nvidia GeForce Now, too. That's fucking hilarious. So, not to mention the fact you can also use any of the apps that would be on the Xbox hardware, which, I mean, there are some Xbox exclusive apps on the console that you can't get on the PC. Not that any of them are really worth it, but, that's another thing to consider. We're having realizations for days in this video. But before we drag on really heavily, which one is really better here? And you know, yeah, I could dumb this video down to, if you're more invested in the Xbox ecosystem, go with the Xbox, and if you're more invested in the PC ecosystem, go with Nvidia GeForce Now for your streaming, but that's really too simple, isn't it? Which one is better? Honestly, even though the Xbox Game Pass app has more features, so to speak, and is more feature heavy, you can run things natively through there, unlike with Nvidia. I'm gonna have to say, from purely the streaming aspect, go with Nvidia. Go with GeForce Now. It is by far the better streaming product. Yeah, it doesn't have as wide as a pool as Xbox Game Pass has. You can't run things natively through it. But with that being considered, that's not really the point, is it? And yes, you can run games through remote play on Xbox Game Pass, the app anyway. But that's not really part of the streaming service coherently, you know? You're running games natively on the Series X, and then you're playing it on your system or screen not even 200 feet from you in most cases. You know, I'll be serious, if I'm going to stream a game, I've never taken the time to remote play from a distance. I've always been here in the same location, and it's just not hooked up to a screen for convenience, you know? It's a lot more convenient for me to run it through my PC onto a screen it's connected to, as opposed to busting out another HDMI cord. That's just the convenience factor for me. That's why remote play is a big boon to me, but I'm thinking about how many people would use that exclusively, and there's just not a lot. And if we're going off the streaming service, while it's good, and while it's usable, and while it's acceptable, we've used it a lot of times here on the channel, it just doesn't hold a candle to Nvidia. So, yeah, you're gonna have to go with Nvidia, I guess. Now, of course, again, if you're more invested in the Xbox ecosystem, go with Xbox. And if you're more invested in the PC ecosystem, and if you have Epic and Steam and Ubisoft accounts and all that shit, and you're invested in all that, go with Nvidia. But if we're going off the streaming aspect, Nvidia wins. Fucking 10 toes down, no questions asked. So, yeah. I know I'm not looking at the camera a lot in this video. I'm trying to look at the camera, but I suck ass at it. But anyway, guys, damn, I didn't expect Nvidia to win. I thought I was going to go with Xbox, but we went with Nvidia in the end. Yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, unsubscribe, dislike, call me a bitch boy, call me the god of this earth. Do whatever you fucking want. I don't care. And at the end of the day, everybody, drink tons of water. You don't want to get dehydrated. Take it away, other me. Woo! Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's pretty much a nothing burger, but if you've been watching my channel for all 8 years that it's existed, you should know that's kind of what we do here. Anyway, if you somehow found yourself enjoying it, click over here to watch another video, click over here to watch another degenerate video, click here to subscribe to my channel, then click down there for, well, whatever lazy lack of originality content I put there. Anyway, get the fuck out of here, you filthy animal. Goodbye.